So I kind of want to do a little bit of a layman's lore, a quick overview of one of my favorite Chaos Space Marine war bands, known as the Scourged. Now, there's not a lot known about the Scourged, and the wiki pages are, like two, but we'll go over the basics here. They were originally known as the Seekers of Truth, working for the Inquisition. Now, of course, you can imagine working for the Inquisition went about as well as it would. They are batshit crazy. They would make the Seekers of Truth here kill a lot of people, and basically get a lot of innocent people, and do a lot of shady things, and maybe bring some planetary governors to heel and all this stuff like that. Do normal Inquisitor crazy shit. They basically treated these guys as Grey Knights light, but they weren't. They actually felt remorse, and they actually felt guilty about killing innocent people. Okay, so this is where their chapter master, Gallus Heroticus, comes in. He basically was praying every night to the Big E, to the Big Emperor. It's for the ability to understand, or the ability to hear when a man was lying. This was very important to him because these lies and these deceptions was what causing him and his chapter to kill people. After doing this for so long and putting his prayers into the warp, into the ether, hoping anyone would listen, mainly the Big E, someone did listen. Someone did finally respond, and that was Sneech. Now, Sneech, being the god of tricks and secrets and magic, and just kind of overall troll, decided, oh, you want to be able to hear when people lie. Well, I'm going to make it so that you hear every lie ever spoken by man all the time in a cacophony of whispers and screams. Yeah, no, they stayed loyal to the Emperor for about maybe 2 minutes before they all went freaking insane because, honestly, I can't hear myself think in a coffee shop, let alone the entire lies of the entire planet, okay? Not even planet, galaxy, all right? So they kind of went insane. A lot of people think that the Scourged are part of the Thousand Sons. They're not. They are a Sneech warband. All the Chaos Gods have warbands. They have stuff like Chaos Undivided, Nurgle, Khorne, whatever. So just because something is attached to Sneech does not necessarily mean they are Thousand Sons. I think a lot of people go, oh, they worship Khorne, so they have to be a blood, berserker. That's not necessarily true. Wibbly wobbly, timey magic shit. So one of the cool things, again, about Warhammer in general is what is written is kind of, they'd be merely guidelines. You can kind of think about whatever headcanons you want and whatever batshit lore you could think of because the galaxy is so big and it has just space magic in it, you can make anything work. So I actually wanted to go over a nice thread on Reddit that was from 2 years ago made by someone called Tivan, and he kind of is asking questions about how it works. He ends his post by saying, how do you interpret it? And I love that because interpretations are really good. There's one person I want to point out. Don't be this dude. Yeah, they are just still Marines, buddy. Okay, they are magic. The Chaos, in the Eye of Terror and Chaos Space Marines in general is just 5% sci-fi, 95% magic, and 100% horror. And it's just kind of how they operate. Now, one of the things, Zarek here was my favorite. It's just like, oh, how do they operate tactical combat? The sorcerers babble and stalk across the battlefields, and their focus snaps to a foe. Whispers slither from forth his helmet, and liquid hate shatters armor and melts flesh. Like, whatever you could think of that is like old school D&D, like freaking lich, evil, edgy. These guys could do it. It's all about lies, lies, and lies, which is apparently their war cry. I don't really think that sounds too cool to me, but we can continue there. Like, this guy also goes along with their talons and warp talons and raptors glitch and stutter in and out of reality, dragging away soldiers who lie to themselves like it's going to be okay or the Emperor protects. That is so on theme and on brand for what they represent. That's freaking neat. Like, the one that's basically this last one, like, oh, the Predator tank ignores an otherwise deadly projectile because they think it's just not real. Like, based reaction, really. That is a bit stretchy, in my opinion. But the whole ruminating on why, lies being kind of what they do, and kind of turning on its head of being how they fight. It would be really freaking weird if you were to start hearing these guys repeat lies that you've said, white lies or anything, in your voice. or maybe repeating a lie that your friends have told you or your mother's told you in their voice and stuff like that, or even saying truths about the Emperor that no one would ever know, or lies rather, would screw you in the head as just a normal guy hearing these things that you swore you told no one, but maybe you thought it, just being there, just kind of out in the open. It's one of the things that kind of like stuns people. Now, they have a relic, a written relic, that was from the Warzone Carcharodon Act 2 book, the Book of Fire, okay? So that's where this source is saying. But the Book of Untruth is the relic of the warband that records every lie they hear, and the power of these falsehoods, spells doom. It's constantly written and overwritten by their sorcerers, and this book is just jam-packed with the Epstein files, okay? They use this, basically this raw energy, to kind of break people's minds. I mean, it's what Chaos Space Marine does. The Scourged actually are, again, one of my favorites. I actually have a kill team, which I'm going to put up on the screen here, that I painted as the Scourged. Kind of a shabby job, but I tried my best. The thing about them is just they're so neat, they're so cool, and I'd really like to see more lore, but the fact there isn't a lot of lore means you can kind of go crazy with what your headcanons are. Again, the sneaky, stealthy lies being very, like, core to them, I think they would, like, charge with the word retreat or something like that. Something simple. Like, just kind of misdirections and cloak and dagger, a little bit of magic, and a whole lot of scary sounds what the Scourge would be. Because, again, they're insane. They're all driven insane. I think some of the newer members might not go insane immediately, and I think some of the sorcerers have to be lucid a little bit, as much as they could be as this chaos sorcerer. And I think, the chapter master in Heretics here has to be at least semi-aware. At least as aware as, like, a Florida crackhead could be. I think that, one of my headcanons for them would be interesting that they would go seek out Blackstone, and some of their equipment and some of their gear might be, or some of their, homes would have Blackstone in it, so you could maybe turn it off for like 2 seconds. So I'm not really sure if turning off your gift from Sneech would piss him off, or just make him laugh, because you're ultimately making it worse on yourself for when you go back into the cacophony. I feel like if you had this moment of silence and then had to go back out into the crazy, you would just hate it even more. Anyway, that's my ramblings on the Scourged. I hope you join me for the next video I'm going to pair with this, which is going to be the cosmetics guide that I do for the PvP with the Chaos Space Marines. They're not really too flashy. It's red and blue, but there's a couple ways you can tweak it to maybe make it towards your style or towards your preferences. Anyway, bye.